Number 14. The Venn diagram below shows similarities and differences between two types of cells and viruses. Use the information below to answer the question. So we have our Venn diagram, and we can see that in this Venn diagram we're comparing eukaryotes, prokaryotes, and viruses. And the question asks us which of the following characteristics would go into the box labeled X. So we are specifically looking for what should go right here in the middle. And that's going to be a characteristic, that's going to be something that eukaryotes, prokaryotes, and viruses all have in common. Okay, now parts of this Venn diagram are filled out for us. Okay, if we look at this, we know that eukaryotes only have a nucleus, they are multicellular, and they have membrane-bound organelles. Remember, that's going to be like the chloroplast, the mitochondria, the nucleus. Now, prokaryotes only are unicellular, one cell big, and they're not going to have those membrane-bound organelles, the chloroplast, the mitochondria, the Golgi, things like that, the nucleus. Eukaryotes and prokaryotes do have a couple things in common, though, and we see that right here. Both of those types of cells have ribosomes. Remember, that's where we make protein. And they have a cell membrane. They're both the type of cell, so they're going to have that membrane, that layer that goes around the outside of the cell that holds everything in place. Now looking down at viruses, viruses have a structure called glycoproteins on the outside of their capsid, and that's going to be used to help with attachment to a host cell. Okay, which takes us right into the next thing. They need a host to reproduce. They have to infect a host. And they have that capsid, that protein bubble, that protein shell that surrounds their genetic material. And something that a virus and a prokaryote have in common is that they do not have a nucleus. They don't have that structure internally that's going to hold all of the DNA in one place like a eukaryote does. So we are looking for what X should be. What do all three of these things have in common? So let's look down at answer choices. A, vacuoles. Remember that vacuoles are going to be an organelle that hold water. So we're going to see a really big vacuole in, for example, plant cells. Okay, we're also going to have vacuoles in animal cells. So specifically, vacuoles are going to be one of our organelles. Okay, and we know that organelles only belong with eukaryotes, so it can't be in all three. Mitochondria. This is the organelle that's responsible for cellular respiration. This is where we make ATP, and remember the mitochondria again are one of those organelles, so only eukaryotes have them, so it can't belong where X is. C, genetic material. Remember that genetic material is going to be DNA or RNA. It's going to be the instructions that cells and viruses both have that's necessary for them. So that is a possibility. And then D, nucleoid. The nucleoid is just going to be a region in prokaryotes where their DNA is found. Remember that prokaryotes don't have a nucleus, but they do still have DNA. And so where that DNA is held, it's called the nucleoid region. And that's only in prokaryotes. So again, we're looking for what all three have in common, so it's not going to be nucleoid. Our correct answer has to be C, genetic material. Eukaryotes, prokaryotes, and viruses all have some type of genetic material, either DNA or RNA,